figures. A delayed dream is not a dead dream. Imagine being smart enough to calculate whether an astronaut will return safely to Earth, yet still being treated as if you do not belong in the room. That is the conflict, the heart of Hidden Figures, a film about Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. Black women whose work helped NASA during the space race. I chose this story because I am a Black woman pursuing a nursing degree and the daughter of a woman who fought through poverty, racism, motherhood, and a delayed education before earning her master's degree. And today I want to persuade you not to confuse limited opportunity with limited ability. We challenge stereotypes, support education, and remember that a delayed dream is not a dead dream. In the film, Katherine Johnson enters a room filled with white male engineers and must prove that she deserves to be there. Her coworkers question her work, even though the mission depends on accurate mathematics. When NASA prepares to send John Glenn into orbit, the new electronic computer produces his flight numbers, but Glenn wants Katherine to verify them. According to NASA's biography of Katherine Johnson, he asked her to approve them when he was ready to fly. Her ability had been present all along, but someone finally trusted it. Dorothy Vaughan faces another threat when electronic computers begin replacing human calculations. She teaches herself Fortran programming and trains the women in her department so they will not be left behind. Mary Jackson wants to become an engineer, but the required courses are held at a segregated white school. NASA reports that she received permission, completed classes, and became the first African American female engineer in 1958. Together, these women show that preparation and courage can open doors that prejudice tries to close. When I interviewed my mother, Karen Briggs, I realized the same struggle can appear in a whole nother decade and a whole nother career. She grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, during the 1970s, in a family of 8 that had to share 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Her father was a preacher involved in civil rights marches, and the family received constant death threats from white people. Racism followed her into school, where teachers and classmates constantly targeted her for the color of her skin, trying to count her out. After moving to Georgia in 1988, she felt she had to work twice as hard and be perfect in her grades, performance, and also attitude to receive just the same consideration as other people who were not her skin color. My mother graduated at the top of her class in high school and enrolled into Kennesaw State University. A professor warned her then that she would have to work extra hard if she wanted to become an educator and even be considered for the same exact opportunities. She later married and got pregnant and ended up dropping out. Now with 3 children, she worked as a teacher assistant during the day and a janitor at night, but she refused to let that be the end of her journey. In her late 30s, she returned to Kennesaw State University and ended up earning a bachelor's degree in special education, and 2 years later, she also earned her master's degree. During our July 2026 interview, my mother told me, "My degree became everything. People had no choice but to count me in and stop counting me out." Education did not erase every form of discrimination, but it expanded her choices and helped change her children's lives, opening her up to more opportunities. The U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics reports in 2025 that workers with a master's degree earned a median salary of $1,840 in 2024, compared with $930 for workers whose highest education was only a high school diploma. Education is not a guarantee, but it can create stability, access, and leverage. Some people hear these stories and they say the system works, it succeeded. But I believe their success proves that strengths, barriers, and everything can be conquered. I know that people should not have to be extraordinary just to receive an ordinary opportunity. In classrooms and workplaces, we question stereotypes, recommend qualified people who are overlooked, and stop assuming that poverty, race, motherhood, age, or a delayed start means that someone lacks potential. When we face the barrier ourselves, we can return after setbacks and keep preparing for the opportunity that we deserve. As I conclude, hidden figures in my mother's life taught me the same lesson. People can be hidden by prejudice, poverty, setbacks, but their ability does not disappear. Katherine Johnson helped send an astronaut into orbit. Dorothy Vaughan prepared women for change in the future. And Mary Jackson became an engineer, and my mother returned to college and built a different life for her family. The next time you see somebody struggling, do not decide that they're incapable. Ask what barriers they have had to cross. Encourage them. Advocate for them. Make room for their talent. The next hidden figure may be in this very room, and it could be me, but it could also be you.